Welcome to today's lesson, multiplying two mixed numbers. Today, we're going to practice the area model so that we can see how you can multiply two mixed numbers. Let's go ahead and get started. We are going to begin today by multiplying 2 1/2 times 3 1/4. Now, we are going to do this by using the area model. I already have part of the area model set up for you. Our first number is 2 1/2. So I have 2 wholes and then 1/2 of a whole shaded in. Now we have this number going across the top of our area model. So now I'm going to represent 3 wholes and 1/4 going down the side. So now we have 3 wholes, 1, 2, 3 wholes, and 1/4 shaded in going in rows. Now the purpose of the area model is to find the area that is shaded in blue in 3 1/4, as well as in yellow 2 1/2. Now this area that's double shaded in the middle is going to be the product to our multiplication problem. So now we need to go ahead and we need to start adding up the product of each of these pieces together. Now I'm going to be going through this on our equation as well. We are going to start by multiplying 2 wholes times 3 wholes. So we're multiplying our whole by our whole. And as you can see, I've written in black, 2 times 3 equals 6. So let's look at our area model to see where this 6 came from. We multiplied our 3 wholes in our rows by our 2 wholes in our columns. And that gave us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 wholes in all. Now we can also see that we don't have any other parts that are shaded in twice that are whole blocks. So now we're ready to move on and multiply our whole by our part of a whole. 2 times 1/4. I've written the equation in purple. 2 times 1/4 equals 2/4. We also know that 2/4 is equivalent to 1/2. And if we look on our area model, we can see that we have 1/4 2 whole times. So now we're ready to move on to our half. We've already multiplied our 2 by both parts of 3 1/4, so now we need to multiply half by both parts. 1/2 times 3 equals 1 1/2. And we can see that on our area model we have 1/2 3 whole times. So now we can move on to multiplying our part by our part, our last piece. We need to multiply 1/2 times 1/4. So if we find a half of a fourth, we're getting that little piece down there, which is an eighth. And again, when you multiply a fraction by a fraction, you can multiply your numerators, 1 times 1 is 1, and your denominators, 2 times 4 equals 8. So now we're ready for that last piece of the problem. We need to add all of these together. So let's start with our fractions. We have 2/4, 1/2, and 1/8. Remember, since we're now adding these fractions together, we have to have the same denominator. But look, 2/4 is equivalent to 1/2. And 1/2 plus 1/2 equals 1 whole. So we can actually take these 2 halves and regroup them into 1 whole. So now we just have 1/8. And 6 plus 1 plus 1 equals 8. So 2 1/2 times 3 1/4 equals 8 1/8. Using the area model is a great way to visualize multiplying mixed numbers. But we also have other strategies that we can use as well. We are going to practice converting these mixed numbers into improper fractions and then multiplying across. Let's try. Maurice has 2 3/4 pounds of rice. Asia has 1 1/4 times the rice that Maurice has. How many pounds of rice does Asia have? Well, we know that we're going to be multiplying 2 3/4 times 1 1/4. In order to convert these into improper fractions, we need to do 2 simple steps. Step 1, multiply your whole number times your denominator. 2 times 4 equals 8. Step 2, add that number to your numerator. 8 plus 3 equals 11. And you're going to keep your denominator because we're still working with that same fractional amount. So let's try it again. 1 times 4 equals 4, and then 4 plus 1 equals 5, which is going to be our new numerator. So now we go ahead and we multiply across because we have two improper fractions. 11 times 5 equals 55. 4 times 4 equals 16. But careful, we're not done yet. We need to change this back into a mixed number. To do that, we need to find out how many times our denominator can go into our numerator. 16 can go into 55 3 whole times. 16 times 3 equals 48. So now we need to subtract out that whole from our numerator. 55 minus 48 equals 7. And that leaves us with 7/16 left over. So we have 2 3/4 times 1 1/4, which equals 3 7/16. Let's try multiplying these two mixed numbers together by converting them into improper fractions. Remember, step 1, multiply your whole number times your denominator. 2 times 3 equals 6. Step 2, add that number to your numerator. 6 plus 1 equals 7. So 2 1/3 is equivalent to 7/3. Let's try it again. Step 1, multiply your whole number by your denominator. 4 times 2 equals 8. Step 2, add that to your numerator. 8 plus 1 equals 9. So 4 1/2 is equivalent to 9 halves. So now we have to multiply across. 7 times 9 equals 63, and 3 times 2 equals 6. But we're not finished yet because we still need to convert this back into a mixed number. So how many times can our denominator go into our numerator? Well, 6 times 10 equals 60. And 6 times 11 equals 66, which is greater than our numerator. So that means that we have 10 wholes, but then we have to find our fractional amount left over. So in order to do that, we need to subtract 60 from 63, because we took out 60 to make 10 wholes. 63 minus 60 equals 3, and that's 3/6 as our fractional amount left over. Now we know that 3/6 is equivalent to 1/2, so make sure that you're reducing your fractional amount if you need to. So 2 1/3 times 4 1/2 equals 10 1/2. Let's take a moment to review. When multiplying mixed numbers, you can either use the area model or you can convert your mixed numbers into improper fractions. In order to do this, you need to multiply your whole number times your denominator, then add your numerator. And that will convert your mixed number into an improper fraction. Your next step is going to be multiplying your improper fractions across. 3 times 5 equals 15, and 2 times 3 equals 6. Your next step is to find out how many times your denominator can go into your numerator. 6 can go into 15 2 whole times, because 6 times 2 equals 12. When we subtract 12 from 15, that gives us 3 left over, or 3/6. We know that 3/6 is equivalent to 1/2, so make sure that you simplify your fraction if you need to. So 2 1/2 times 1 2/3 equals 2 1/2.